Dharmo rakshati rakshitah. That is, when we preserve our dharma, dharma preserves us. Dharma is not just a religion, but it is actually a set of principles, Sanatan principles, which is based on the harmony, the righteousness, the social equality of the society. A very good morning, everyone, respected sir, and all my dear friends. Today I am here to talk about a very basic concept, that is dharma. It is not ancient, it is not philosophical, but is still alive in our roots. Also, in today's life, when there are the rising conflicts, global pressure, the term Sanatan is still persisting in our society. But we have to know what is Sanatan, what the Sanatan is, why it is a trend, why is it in trend nowadays, what is its concept, what are its aspects, what are its social aspects and consequences. So first of all, let us get to know about it by its name or by defining it. The Sanatan Dharma. This is actually a Sanskrit term. The term Sanatan means eternal or ageless, which has no end, whereas the Dharma means our duty, our natural law. So collectively, if we'll talk about Sanatan Dharma, it actually means the eternal duties for the righteous society. Now, if we'll talk about the Sanatan Dharma, it doesn't have a single author. It doesn't belongs to a single historical movement. It doesn't have a single prophet who has wrote this whole Sanatan Dharma. It has been evolved. It is a very inclusive and vast topic. It is flexible. And how does it got its roots and how is it evolving? Let us see through its historical background. First of all, it got its foundation from the Vedic era, that is 1500 BCE, where we were worshipping the natural gods, the natural deities like Varuna, like the Vayu, where we were worshipping the natural deities, and it laid its foundation from the Vedas, the Rig Vedas, Yajur Vedas, Sham Vedas, Athar Vedas. Then there was a shift from the spiritual to the philosophical era, where there was an emergence of the idea of Brahman, that is universal soul, and Atman, that is individual soul. Then there was a shift from the philosophical era to the epic era, where Ramayana and Mahabharata emerged, and the Bhagavad Gita supported the Sanatan Dharma with various aspects. Then there was an classical era where various of the societies like Advaita, Samhita, different societies developed, which gave various philosophical context and ideologies. Then came the medieval era, where the Sanatan Dharma struggled for its existence. But still, on that era also, some of the thinkers, some of the poets spreaded its existence by the compassion, by the love, by the unity. They spread these kind of ideas. And some of the example of those thinkers, those poets are like Tulsidas, Mirabai, etc. Now came the colonial period, when the Britishers challenged the practices of the Sanatan Dharma. But still, then also, there were thinkers, there were leaders who made the Sanatan Dharma survive. And they were Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Swami Vivekanand, who protected the Sanatan Dharma by removing those evil practices and then giving a beautiful Sanatan Dharma to us. So, still from then till now, if we'll talk about the present time, the Sanatan Dharma is still evolving. And we can't say, as I have said earlier, that it doesn't have a single prophet or a single historical movement. It's still evolving. It has served and gave education, or we can say gave direction to millions for the thousands of years. So this is the journey how Sanatan Dharma has evolved from the Vedic period until now it is evolving. Now we'll see that why the Sanatan Dharma is in trend nowadays. We have seen that we are hearing this topic everywhere. So let us talk about it, that why the Sanatan Dharma is in trend. First of all, for this we have to learn about some of the aspects which Sanatan Dharma takes over with itself. Number one is the dharma or the duty. We all know that what we do is the dharma. What we profess is the dharma. and it contains the ethical living, the society, our responsibilities, our consciousness towards our life. This is all what dharma compromise. And then we'll talk about the karma, the law of the cause and effect. Karma is yet simple but very profound. So, what we do is our actions are for our future. That what we'll do today will get its result in the future. This is the simple karma and its natural way of balancing experiences. Now, the third thing is Atman and Brahman. As I told you earlier, that Atman is the individual soul and Brahman is the universal soul. So, this is also a fundamental concept of Sanatan Dharma. Then we'll come to moksha, the ultimate liberation, that the goal of light is not to accumulate the material wealth, but to get freedom from ignorance, from ego, from sufferings and the cycle of birth and death. Now, the liberation comes through self-realization, through devotion and through meditation or through knowledge. So these were some of the things which were the basic aspects. Now, Sanatan Dharma has one more aspect that is called as yoga. You all have heard about yoga, that it is just a union of body, mind and spirit. So how the body, mind and souls are getting collectively towards each other. It's a complete spiritual path. As you know, it is given by the Patanjali that yoga is a complete spiritual path. It includes yam, niyam, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. These are some of the aspects concluded in it. Today, yoga has become a global phenomenon transforming health and spirituality worldwide. This is the Sanatan Dharma offering its wisdom to the world, with one more concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world in one family. This ancient India Upanishads is the essence of the global harmony. It teaches us humanity. It is interconnected beyond borders, beyond religion, and beyond the ethnicity. It tells us that devotion, it's the devotion, not the division. It is not about the polarity. It is not about the freedom, but it is all about the devotion towards one thing, without respecting, without just being concerned about the borders or being concerned about any caste. Now, let us explore that why is it influenced in today's life. First of all, the revival of spiritual gatherings. For example, we can take the example of the Bageshwar Dham. You all have heard about the Pandit Dhirendra Shastri ji, who recently organized a public rally, a Sanatan rally, which was a uniting movement for all the people, without concerning over any caste, without concerning over any wealth. They were all equal. They were uniting and marching over the roads just with a collective sense of belongingness. That was Sanatan. So this was one of the example, or this was one of the aspect which was in news nowadays. These gatherings actually promote unity. They reduce social conflicts. They strengthen our cultural identity. Also our emotional spirit and healing. Now, second of the thing is environmental consciousness. That why is it in news nowadays? Prithvi Mata Putro Aham Prithvyah. That is, the earth is our mother and we are her children. Today, global environment movements echo very teachings: respect for nature, sustainable thinking, and also protection of rivers. Conservation of forest is also very much in news. Modern Hindu organizations and temples are increasingly undertaking these eco-friendly, these afforestation programs and campings, plastic-free yatras also, and these are all rooted in the Dharma. Now, the rise of yoga and meditation. You can take the example of the International Yoga Day, that how much widely celebrated, not over in India, not only in India, but also in various countries. You can take the example of Rishikesh also, that worldwide people are coming over here just for the meditation, just for the yoga, just for reviving their souls. So This is how the Sanatan Dharma is attracting people towards them. Also, global observation of International Yoga Day is a celebration of this ancient wisdom. Now, fourth point, growing interest in Ayurveda and natural healing. That people are now more focusing towards the Ayurveda rather than going towards the allopathy. Because they feel that holistic treatments and herbal remedies, disease prevention, and mind-body balance, these are much beneficial with the help of Ayurveda, with the help of natural things, with the help of natural resources. So, in many countries, Ayurvedic clinics, wellness centers are flourishing. People are realizing that health must include body, mind, and soul, not only the medicines. Also, the interfaith harmony and global dialogue. Sanatan's Dharma philosophy of acceptance actually encourages peaceful coexistence. That we do or we share a collective sense of belongingness. In the modern India, with the pluralist society, we are actually observing that various diversities in our neighborhood or in the whole India. But then also, with a reference of principles, we are discussing peace and mutual respect. Also, empowerment through knowledge, that is Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Knowledge gives humility. Today, educational movements focusing on self-awareness, emotional intelligence, ethical leadership, and value-based educations are revival of Sanatan teachings. These scriptures teach us harmony over hatred, dialogue over dominance, and spirituality over superiority. When millions gather for yatras, kirtans, festivals, spiritual discourses such as the Bageshwar Dham, or the goal is not division but the togetherness. So it does not impose a single path. Instead, it offers path for devotion, a path for action, a path for knowledge, a path for the meditation. Every individual can choose what suits him or what choose her. Relevance of Sanatan Dharma in today's youth or young people's today's ways. As you all know that we are today facing various of the career pressures, emotional stress, relationship challenges, also mental health struggles. Sanatan Dharma offers various solutions to it. That is mindfulness through meditation, clarity through self-inquiry, resilience by the teachings of Gita, discipline through yoga, and values through dharma. And these more are we are attending various of the satsangs. So collectively, if we'll talk about the Sanatan Dharma and the today's youth, we are somehow going towards it. So this is how the whole Sanatan Dharma comprises, and we collectively call it a sense of belongingness. Thank you.